All right, starting off this video real fast, I do want to preface this by saying if anyone's new to the channel or that didn't know the channel had a schedule, I didn't realize a lot of people didn't realize there was a schedule on this channel. So I didn't post this publicly, so this is on me. The schedule for this channel, and it has been for the last 2 years, is 10, 12, and 2. There's a video every day at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. Now that schedule, I record the videos the day before, and then I schedule them on YouTube to go live 10, 12, and 2. So, for example, if you're like, something happens, right? Someone get cut, and you're like, why isn't he talking about it at the 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or 2 o'clock video? That's probably because I recorded the day before, and the day before he didn't get cut, right? So, just a little glimpse there in case you're wondering. If anything happens very late at night, let's say something happens at 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, the video will be posted the next morning at 9 a.m. covering the whole entire thing. That will not mess up the 10 a.m. video. 10 a.m. video is going up no matter what, okay? But if something happens the night before and I didn't talk about it and you're like, why didn't he cover this? Why didn't he talk about this? That goes up 9 a.m. the next morning. Any video outside of that, news breaking, people posting something, people talking about something, that's all separate extra videos. But on this channel, and I try to do this for every channel I own. I run 4 or 5 different channels. 10, 12, and 2, money number. That's where I always like to post up. So if you ever like, hey, I want to watch something from him, you know, what's going on with Ryan? That's my name if you don't know. What's going on with Ryan? Bam. 10, 12, and 2, that's why I hit it. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it real fast. I apologize for cutting into this video. But I realize a lot of people don't realize that we actually do have a schedule on this channel. And, you know, that's if you're ever wondering, like, hey, why does he react to this certain thing? 10, 12, and 2, those videos, not gonna, you know, be reaction videos. After that, 100%. And I try my best to get as fast as possible when it comes to news breaking. I have like 17 different devices, right? With like news and notifications going wild whenever something happens. Your boy sometimes sleeps. Sheldon Rankins video, I was like an hour and a half late and I'm pissed at myself for it, and I'm like, bro, I slept in way too much. I did. Anyway, top 3 replacements for Sheldon Rankins. See, it's all relevant in the end, all goes full circle. First round options, Walter Nolen. Let's go ahead and talk about him. So Walter Nolen is not a new face to this channel. We have talked about many times because there's a lot of analysts that say we're going to draft this guy, which I really would not mind at all. Now, keep in mind, Sheldon Rankins is not a run-stuffing defensive tackle. He's pretty much a interior pass rusher. What he was really good for when he was with the Texans was his interior pass rushing, pushing the guards back into the quarterback and getting to the quarterback, right? So this is not like a replacement, for example, of like DJ Reader, for example, BJ Hill, who are more just run stuffers. DJ Reader could also pass rush, and BJ Hill can as well, but they're known more for the run stuffing than pass rushing. Walter Nolen has to be that pass rusher that we would want him to be. Now, 88.9 overall grade. Sacks, he put up 6 sacks, 2024, 7, 2023, and 1 in 2022. A-gap wise, he played 19 snaps last year in the A-gap, 432 in the B-gap, over tackle 103, outside tackle 23, and off ball 5 snaps. I'm really, right now, PFF has it as 25% chance we draft him. I'm really starting to like this guy because, listen, every analyst and their mother at this point is having us mocked with this guy. So I had to look into him a lot. And he's 6'3", 305 pounds. Really the perfect size for a defensive tackle, especially if you want him more to be a pass rusher type of guy. I'm really starting to love this guy. So it's one of those, it's always challenging when it comes to defensive tackle position, if we're being honest. I mean, when it comes to first round position, because there's just so many options, So many different players I look at, I'm like, I would love this guy. I want this guy. I want this guy. But you can't have everybody, right? So you have to kind of pick and choose. He's definitely on my big board. I don't do my top 100 big board until right around like early April. That's when I start doing my big board and like play the Bengals mock board I want. I definitely think right now, and things can change obviously after the scouting combine in 7 days, but I definitely will say I think he's going to be on that list. He's going to be on that list 100%. Day 2 picks is going to be Darius Alexander from Toledo. That's this guy right here from Toledo. He's 6'4", 310 pounds, a 90.1 overall grade last season. He had 4 sacks, 7 sacks 2023, 2 sacks 2022. Keep in mind, even if, let's say, for example, he's a defensive tackle, okay? Defensive tackle, actually, technically defensive lineman, but looking at where he's lining up, over the tackle, 49 snaps, 22 outside tackle, 6 off ball, 545 B gap, and 8 A gap. He's more just interior guy. So a lot of times, for example, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. Their defensive line, players like TJ Watt, get a lot of benefit of having really good interior defensive linemen. Because the interior defensive linemen, a lot of times, they'll eat up the double teams, they'll eat up the blocks, and then it lets the edge rushers off the edge get in and get to the quarterback, because usually then it's a one-on-one matchup. So don't always, when it comes to interior offense or defensive linemen, don't always look at sack numbers and think, oh, that guy sucks. That guy sucks because his sack numbers are low. Because it could mean is he's helping out somebody else. He's helping out another edge rusher on his team. He is the reason why his edge rusher on his team has 30 sacks, because he's eating up those double teams. He's moving the guy around, right? So just keep that in mind. He also had 25 hurries last year. It's not always, apples to apples here when it comes to looking at numbers. I know a lot of times we're like, oh, how many sacks did he have? How many sacks? Sometimes players, you as a player, your responsibility might not be your responsibility is get to the quarterback, but your responsibility might sometimes be picking up those double teams, eating up those blocks, and allowing your other guys to get to the quarterback. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, though, he's a day 2, day 3 pick. Or it says day 2 option. Day 3 option is Peebles from Virginia Tech. I kind of love his name, to be honest. Now, this is the smallest guy we've had so far. 6'1", 290 pounds. Okay. 516 defensive snaps. And you can see right here, it also says pass rushing snaps, run stuffing snaps. Kind of gives you a little bit more of a glimpse here. 3 sacks last year, 6 sacks, 3 sacks, but 31 hurries. So 31 quarterback hurries, 3 sacks, which means, he's getting there. He just might not be the guy who gets the sack. So he's getting through the offensive line, but he's not the guy who's finishing the job, which, again, isn't always a bad thing. That just means you might have some really good edge rushers who are getting to that quarterback. 384 snaps in the B gap, 36 in the A gap, 78 over tackle, 17 outside tackle, and 1 off ball. So, yeah, at the end of the day, the replacement for Sheldon Rankins, I do feel like will happen in the draft. I think that's kind of where we're going to think about trying to replace him, because free agency is great, but we got Chris Jenkins, we got McKinley Jackson, right? Both of those guys are more just run stuffers. I think you pair a really good good interior pass rusher from the draft, and you're eating. So we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening, but that's kind of where I feel like the Bengals are going to be headed. But we'll have to wait and see. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Leave some likes, comment down below. See you guys next one. Peace.